looking at that Audi, but I'm gonna see if it'll. She said it drives, so I'm gonna pull it out first. Maybe I should keep the key.
Busier out of South Center into Newcastle, and again approaching.
A little over, huh? still have glass on here from yesterday. Wish I was recording yesterday. I picked up a really awesome older Toyota. I'll probably at least post some pictures. Just because it was, at least to me anyway, it was a cool truck. The guy bought it for 500 bucks. I think it's a good deal to me, based on how it looks. Yeah, that would have been a good one. It was in a bit of a tricky spot, but I say tricky only because I hadn't picked up a vehicle in that kind of a spot before. But actually it was really easy because I knew what I was doing. It just took about 5 minutes. Picking up a green Chevy 1500. Runs and drives, and it's a 4x4. So I'm picking it up from its rear end. So I got an all-wheel drive Audi on the bed. So instead of doing anything tricky with them, I'm just gonna tow this one backwards. This one should be simple like all the other GMCs and Chevys. But I've picked up backwards. Not to mention all the Fords I've picked up backwards. Let's see if I'm close enough. Might need to go back more. Ooh, just barely. Need to go back just a little bit more. Just a hair. Ooh, right on. See, that's why I love that camera. This one. Have that bungee cable over here. Oh no, I put it up front. Might put some more air in that front tire. Looks a little low. It's probably fine. Normally I wouldn't even care, but on a heavier vehicle, I do a little bit. Like how high this chain is, but it'll probably still work fine. Start this one first. Seems like it's lower. You know, that one over there looks pretty low too, but what's it at? 27. That is locked already, but just for good measure. Wow, this is a short. This seems like it's a short seatbelt. That's because the rear reel is on the bottom rather than the top. Okay. Huh. Wondering if I can get a twist in that. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a twist. Yes, I can. Just a little bit more secure. If I can get a twist in it. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it is. I wonder if I can get two in there. It's quite a lot of. I got a lot of slack in this one. So let me see if I can actually get two in here. Ooh, I didn't think I could. That'll be a lot more secure than what am I talking about? This isn't even, that is just moving. Maybe they've done this before, but it's better. That's fine. It's hot out. It'll go up some PSI on the way. $23. Toyota. Got writing on those. Pretty even. I'm laughing because it looks so even when I back up to it. Only at an angle is it even. Yeah, the rest of these are the same way. Well, it looks even to me, but wait, I should roll up that window. Yeah, to get this straight, it would be really close to that white truck. So, it's a good thing anyway that it's not completely straight. They at least need to be able to open up the door. stayed where it was supposed to. Tough for him to get straight right next to me. How you doing? Doing fine. What's that? Oh, sorry. Progressive, regular. It's the other side. You only see a small portion of this place on camera, but if you ever look at the satellite image of this property, it is way bigger than you think. It is massive. Which is probably why they have the ability to take in well, they used to anyway. They used to take in like 200 plus every day, 200 cars a day. Forget how many per week. I think it was close to 1,500 a week. I don't remember exactly what the total number was. And that was years ago when I first started doing this. They were bringing in a lot more because they used to have USAA vehicles brought here, and that's no longer happening, I think, since a year and a half ago, maybe. I didn't realize it had actually been that long, but there were definitely a lot more vehicles brought in at that time. I think I'll drop this at 19 since that truck is in between 17 and 18. wonder if my camera can help me get it straight on a bit better. 'Cause, I mean, I bet if that number is in the middle of my screen, there's a possibility. Anyway, I'll be straight on. Let me check it. That looks straight on. Looks straight on there. Let's see. I'll take a picture and let that person know. They were very unhappy. Well, it was one of those kind of happy, sad, knowing that their car is toast, which I totally understand. So. And I've said it before, but I remember my first car that I ever had seized on me, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I drove it without the oil pump functioning in it. So of course it was knocking. I was on my way to the mechanic for something unrelated to that, and I was like, well, I gotta get my car to the mechanic, you know. She'll just tell me what's up with it, right? That was my thought. I even pulled over, and my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. Was she my girlfriend at the time? I think she was. No, I don't think she was. I don't remember. We've been together for a long time. Yeah, she was with me, and she looked at the engine and said it was shaking around all over the place. And honestly, I don't remember that scenario of me telling her to get out and look at it, because that's just, I mean, today I wouldn't do that. Today I would get out myself and look, but yeah, for some reason I guess I told her to look at it, and that's what she saw, and I was like, okay, well, at least according to her memory. I don't remember. I remember pulling over, but I don't remember what occurred in that moment, except that I definitely kept on driving it, and it seized when I was going just as I was about to pass over a highway, over a bridge, and I had to pull over. It might have been 512. I don't remember where I was, but it might have been 512. But I got stuck on the side of the road there, and it had to be towed, if I remember right. Back to, it had to be towed to the mechanic, and when it got there, she was like, yeah, the motor is seized, it won't turn at all. Pretty sure your oil pump went out on it. And it turns out that was a pretty common issue with that car. It was a 1999 Ford Taurus. Not the show version, which everybody was always telling me about, when I owned it. Do you have the show version? Which, if you don't know what the show version is, it's well, in the simplest way of saying it, it's the sports version of the vehicle. It's, if I remember right, which I really don't remember, I guess it's got more horsepower, and it may even have a completely different engine. I think it did have a totally different engine in it. But no, I didn't have that one. That was an SE is what it was. And I always thought it was an old person car when I used to see it on the road, which is, it's ironic, right? I thought it was an old people car, old person car, when I would see it on the road as a kid. I go, wow, I'd never owned one of those. It's such an old person looking car. There was always an old person driving that car. And funny enough, that ends up being my very first car. Moved in with my dad at 18. There's some. And well, yeah, moved out of my mom's when I was 18. Moved into my dad's place. I had nowhere to go, and that was a gift from him. It was sitting in the garage, and he wasn't driving it. If I remember right, he had a truck at the time, and he didn't drive it. It just sat in the garage. And he said it was going to be my graduation gift after I graduated from high school. I ended up getting it. I ended up getting it before that. And as a matter of fact, I drove that car around without permission, with no insurance and no current tabs, probably for, shoot, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks. I didn't have my license, if I remember right, at the time. I was learning to drive still, and it was, I don't know if you've ever been in a vehicle with your parent and they're trying to teach you how to drive, but you know, they're just stressed out. They think, they're scared that you're gonna crash or, you know, get into a wreck or cause an accident or whatever, and they're just yeah, they're just too overbearing, maybe is the right word. It's just too much, and so it's hard to get, you know. I'm picking up a Jeep. I believe it's this one. It says it's a biohazard, and usually they don't put biohazards over here, but there's a Jeep over here, and it looks like a year 2000. Actually, to me, it looks older, but let's see, 1885. Yep, this is it. Anyway, so he's trying to teach me to drive, and it was hard for me. And so, only because I was overreacting to his overreacting, you know, to me, because he was scared, you know. And I totally get that, you know. You're a parent. I'm a parent now. I totally understand my dad way more than I ever used to. But yeah, he was scared of me crashing or, you know, getting hurt, or he just didn't want me to mess up. He didn't want us to get pulled over or whatever. It might have been in his mind at the time, but yeah. Oh man, yeah, he'd be like, pull over, and I would go, why? And he would go, don't ask me why, just do it. Little did I know, you know, my dad was actually going through quite a lot at the time, so I didn't know what was happening in the background. I know he didn't mean to be that way, but he was stressed big time. But anyway, yeah, I cried when that car got towed away for $325, if I remember right. So I totally understand someone, you know, having an attachment to a vehicle, because I used to be there too. And since this is a biohazard, we're not going to get in it. They don't want me to. Oh, the key is in the ignition. Get that picture for the key. But yeah, I would drive that car, and I would take it to work, and then I would get home before anyone else got home, and I would put not that I'm trying to give anyone tips or anything, which I'm not, you know, I'm not suggesting you do it. You do whatever you want. But I would put like a stick or some kind of a marker on the ground where the front and the rear wheels would sit during the day. That way, you know, if my father came home and you know, nobody would know that the vehicle was moved. Nobody knew. And you know, honestly, I never thought to get fuel. But I don't remember getting fuel, but I must have gotten fuel. I must have gotten fuel. I had to be driving around for that long. I had to have gotten some fuel. But yeah, that's what I would do. I put a stick or a rock or something. I don't even remember what I put on the ground, but I would put something there so that I knew to park it back right where it was. And you know, my dad's smart. He had to have known. I mean, I later told him, and I don't remember what he said, honestly. It was so long ago. And I'm 35 now, so I was 18 then, if I remember right. 18 or 19. But yeah, he must have known. My dad's a smart guy. He's probably the smartest person I know. So he had to have known, you know, what was up. Most parents know. Well, okay, parents, I think a lot of parents are paying attention more than their kids realize. Well, as long as that's not gonna fly up. Where's the release for that? I've never actually hood latch released an older Jeep like this before. It looks a little, does it pop up right here? It does. Where is it? Is it right there? It looks like it's right there. Huh. You know, sometimes they're in the grill in these older ones, but huh, I don't actually see the release. As long as it stays. I guess we'll see if it stays. Hopefully I've got enough battery for this recording. I mean, I was charging it, but sometimes I'll leave it recording and then not realize that I'm still recording. Only because I don't record every day. But eventually, I'm hoping anyway, I'm going to start recording every day. I'd like to get to a point where I'm posting you know, definitely once a week guaranteed, but more than that, you know, I want to get to twice a week. It's just a matter of you know, I haven't said it, but I've got 3 kids, and I don't know, yeah, I've got a lot of projects at home, a lot of projects I'm working on. You know, I add several things to my plate all at once, and sometimes just because there's an opportunity to, you know, like I needed some wood. For a while I've needed some wood. Some 2x6s really, to be specific, but now there was an opportunity to get like 40 2x6s that were used in a deck. And so I just was like, okay, well, the opportunity's there, I should take it. And so I picked up all those 2x6s, but I did not have time, you know, right off the bat to start processing them, you know, meaning getting all the screws out, you know, determining which ones were going to be useful, which ones were rotten, see how great WD-40 is? You know, which ones were rotten, which ones were really good. And it turns out, actually, I ended up with about 50. I picked up 50 boards, if I remember right. I didn't count them, but based on the ones I processed, because I processed them all now, I've got probably 40 good 2x6s that they're all longer than 9 feet. So I mean, and those were free. So, you know, I've got so many projects at home. I mean, I've got a deck to repair. You know, when I moved in, I have 3 decks, and not one of them have any flashing between the deck ledger and the house. They just attached it through the OSB siding. It's wood siding, but I'm calling it OSB siding because that's what it is. It went through the OSB siding, so they're not, you know, properly diverting the water. So I've got all these things until I get rid of some of those things, or, you know, maybe I just put them on hold and I'll be able to post more often on the page. You know, I'll be able to get more time editing. I mean, at the moment though, I've been working on other stuff primarily because my neighbor across the street, you know, they're great. I don't tend to think I owe people debt necessarily, you know, aside from monetary debt that I incur on my own. But, you know, they gifted me a car about a month or so ago, and it was a 1995 Suzuki Sidekick. You know, and they're nice folks, really. You know, they're nice. They're the kind of neighbor you want in your neighborhood, and because of that, you know, they're in the middle of selling their house, and I didn't mow the lawn for about 2 weeks because my weed eater, I burnt the motor out of it, and I need a new filter for my mower. You know, and I've got all these other things I'm looking at doing, so I put it on hold. And well, I guess people who came to look at their home, they got a questionnaire to fill out, you know, afterwards, and they almost every one of them mentioned the yard, my yard, and said that that we don't care about our yard. That's what they didn't like about their house they were looking at, which is hilarious to me. But, you know, I totally get it. The lawn was tall, so I'm catering to them a little bit, you know, for that. So once I've got outside all taken care of, you know, at my place, things organized, and I'll be posting hopefully a lot more often. Anyway, off to safari. I don't need to be at the yard anymore for the day. I'm heading home after this for a bit, and then I've got a private tow, possibly, hopefully, around 3:30. Not going too far from my next one. Set these up like I normally do. Interesting. Huh. I wonder if that WD-40 is still good. Let's see. I might need some more. Help. All I'm gonna do is pull it onto the WD-40, and now let's see if it'll slide down for me. Yes. Oh. Just needs a little bit more encouragement. Should be able to take these off now. As I know it's likely not going to go anywhere. I might need to bump that one with sledgehammer. Or not. Cool. Nice. Oh, interesting. Perfect. I wonder why the front would roll a little bit like that and then not roll earlier. It's a good looking older Jeep. And I wonder what the biohazard is in there. I wonder if it's just mold or something. They've got that window blocked off, so maybe there's a leak. It does look open. Oh yeah, it's a little window here. Oh, it is broken. So it must have been broken into or something. Oh yeah, I see it. Drugs. If you're ever wondering, that is a sign of drugs. Just tinfoil. And well, I mean, that's probably not what they used right there, but usually drugs, a pen, and even the de-icer there, that's usually another sign. of drugs. At least, well, with all three of those things anyway. Used, you know, pins that are taken apart. So if you find foil in your car after it's been broken into, you find tin foil on the ground, even a little bit, and you find discarded like pieces of pins, you know, like specifically the center portion of it, and it smells a little odd and you're not sure what the smell is, it's a drug. Likely has fentanyl in it. It didn't always used to be that way. It just used to be meth. But they were calling it peel, is what they were calling it. And I only know this because someone who used to be a friend of mine, who I no longer associate with because of the drug thing, I gave him a ride once to a yard job, and actually he ended up taking me to on the way there he ended up taking me to what now I know is called a trap house, you know, where they're not only dealing drugs out of it, but there are people there who are taking the drugs and living there just to take the drugs. That's their... Anyway, I'm not going to claim to understand everything about it, but yeah, I basically took him to a drug deal. He picked up his thing, and he did his thing right there in the passenger seat of my car. And so, of course, I told him, you know, I'm not going to be able to give him another ride after that. You know, I'm not judging him or anything. You know, it's none of my business what he does with his life, but he definitely can't be doing it in my vehicle. So, and actually that's where I learned the name for it, called peel. That's where I learned that from, was him. He called it peel. And, well, I won't describe how he did it, but yeah, it involves the pin and tinfoil, and something on the tinfoil. That's all I'll say. But anyway, it's mostly laced. It's pretty much all laced with fentanyl now. So I don't. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't recommend anyone do any drugs, but I definitely would stay clear of anything meth related, especially because now that is pretty much all laced with fentanyl. Anyway. A little bit of a tangent there. I'm on my way to likely the last tow of the day. It's a private tow. It's a little Nissan pickup. And we'll see how that goes. It's a good little Nissan hard body here. This one's going to John's place to get fixed. Oh yeah, definitely close enough. Yeah. You're fine for now. I'd rather hook it up first. That way I know it won't go nowhere other than where I want it. Easy peasy. Just gonna close your window. And take the key out. Okay, and get going.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Heading to you, boss.
I love that GoPro, man. That's freaking cool.
All right. Where do you want it?
Oh, Nissan.
Yeah.
Roadie's not good, it sounds like.
He said something about the rear calipers being upside down.
Oh,
Also.
boy.
He said he's not able to bleed them.
Oh,
So,
I don't know if we can or if
yeah.
can we back it up and block this,
This bay right here?
the first bay.
Yeah. Oh, the one that's open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to get it on the rack.
Sure. Yeah, I'll stick it there.
Yeah, we just park it this right here.
Sure. Sounds like maybe a rodent issue primarily, and upside down calipers on the front. So he said he can't bleed his brakes because he got him in upside down.
Usually those things happen in the evening for me. Like I preach to the boys, do your work first.
I used to eat the stuff and drink it, but none of that's for me. Nothing.
Yeah. Sometimes
So,
you gotta just let it go.
no, I don't need anything else now on the outside to fill a void. So, 'cause I don't have a void anymore.
That's good.
Yeah, no voids. That makes sense.
Get all your things blue.
Yeah. Close. Make sure I know where that side is landing. Make sure John can walk around it.
I'm fine. This is no rush.
Okay.
This thing is totaled out. She did something. This is on your timeline. So if you have priorities, this is going to be gone. They're supposed to be here to look at it.
Oh, a little close. Oh, I touched my camera.